In this video, we're gonna do an update on my 1994 Peterbilt 362 cab over called Stubby that Dad is stretching. I know, he's making it longer. That's what he's doing. But not this one. That one is my 1995 cab over Peterbilt 362 called Low and Slow. And this is my 1989 Kenworth K100 I love to call Kenny. Well, we all love to call him Kenny because, you know, that's Kenny. He's the OG. This is K2, the 1988 K100. Couldn't call it Kenny because Kenny was taken. So we call it K2 because, you know, Kenny 2. This is Smokey, my 1996 K100. This is Duke, my 2006 378 Peterbilt. And this is Stubby, or at least the truck formerly known as Stubby. Dad said he needed 50 2.5-inch bolts. So here we are, delivering bolts. Oh my! You've been busy. Look at Stubby now. I don't know guys, I don't think we can call him Stubby anymore. I see why you needed bolts. Yeah. Yeah. What a difference few days makes. So, how did it go putting the axles in?
Actually, it went quite well. Like, all I had with this one is going to be buttoned up. This one I put back in. I've got a whole bunch of holes to drill yet.
Yeah.
But I wanted to put the axle in so I can use it for a template.
Uh-huh.
And then I got to put the cross member in and drill it from the inside. And yeah.
Okay.
And then I got to make sure it's all lined up. I was gonna just for shits and giggles. Where's my tape measure?
I don't know.
Oh, it's here somewhere.
There's the insert. So we got the insert centered over the weld. Stiffs are definitely in need of a good sandblast and paint job, but I don't think they're thin. They're just rusty. And we know a place we can take it. Oh, scientific measuring here.
Well, I'm just curious as to, because there is movement. I'm just curious as to how.
Yeah, there's a little scaling. Scaly. Yeah, it's got rubber plugs in the backing plates. That's handy Jim Dandy. Is it the same?
No.
Oh. How different is it?
About an inch. But I mean, it's not scientific measure either.
Well, I would think the bolt holes on the frame are the most important part to be.
Yeah, they are. But there's also movement in the holes, like. So.
Well, and really that's where when it's done, a person should get a wheel alignment done.
Well, yeah, either that or we'll just loosen off the bolts and.
Not sure how easy that will be, but how hard could it be to do a wheel alignment? Yeah, see, that's the problem when you have a deck on your truck. I mean, I've seen worse on highway trucks, but yeah, that's the problem when you have a deck covering everything and you live in an area of the world that has salt, sand, and snow. You get corrosion. Our unscientific.
This side is narrower than that side, so. But
Of course, I guess depending if you get just a little bit of slop in this one going one way and a little bit of slop in that one going that way.
well, even could be like I drilled this hole here by measuring. Could be that hole's out. The other ones aren't drilled yet, so I could pull that one out, move it back half an inch, and then drill them. I put it in for a template. See, that side was the chunk of frame rail we added on. I cut it so that the holes for the mount matched the holes that were already in the frame.
Oh.
This side we have to drill fresh, so I might just take and pull this bolt out and then move it back whatever we need and then drill the holes.
Yeah.
But that's the reason for putting it there like that. And then I have to go get the magnetic drill again and redo it and do it.
And drill it to it. So if anybody would like to sponsor this channel and supply us with a magnetic drill, you know, it'd be appreciated. Just throwing it out there. But, you know, it's actually kind of cool having Duke here with the new aluminum wheels on it, because it kind of gives you a taste of what it can be, or will be. I'm not going to say can be, what it will be. And Smokey, I haven't forgot about Smokey. Is putting off the work because I want to get Duke done. And Dad didn't get much done on this in the last month or so, but now that there's snow outside, can work on the inside jobs. Because
well, there has been a lot of work done. It's just work that doesn't show. Like you can drill holes and, you know, put the tail frame and whatnot on. A lot of it's measuring and like, don't be in a hurry.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and the nice thing is, this thing is like a usable length now. Well, I mean, it was usable at the length it was before, but the nice thing with this length is it's not so sketchy. I mean, I guess in Europe and other places, you guys run short little trucks, but out here, we don't really run short trucks. Well, we don't run short trucks.
Well, we used to with the trains, because the trains, you had to be under 55 feet in length. And so you had a 244-inch wheelbase tractor to pull an A-train, which gives you 15% before they're going right around in a circle. So in the wintertime, you're very careful. Because if you went to swap ends, you had 15% or degree of getting out of line before you're going right around and kissing your trains. So the longer the wheelbase, the more leeway you have if you hit an icy patch.
And I don't know if you guys just saw that, but snow just fell off the roof. So we got some icy patches. Yeah, because even though this thing being short, in a lot of ways would have been a fun daily driver.
And they're rough.
It wouldn't have been in the wintertime.
And they're rough.
And they're rough. See, I don't know that Kenny's that rough as much as it's being short. It dives in the corners and it just doesn't feel nice. So, but yeah, guys, this is the update. We finally got wheels under it again. So, and the plan is, or at least my plan, once we get it bolted, you know, where it needs to be, get cross members in it, get the drive lines in it. I would like to take and get the frame sandblasted and painted so that, you know, we can do all the diffs and stuff like that. Because the frame rails, we could just rattle can it, but you know what? I think this truck deserves a little more love. And you know what? We clean up the diffs and we'll fix, you know, airlines and stuff.
This thing doesn't have that many miles on it.
No.
Like it's 700,000 kilometers, which...
So how many miles would that be? That's probably like...
Probably about 500,000.
Yeah, 500,000 miles, like nothing.
Well, 800,000 would be 500,000 miles. So...
Yeah, so it's got like 400 and some thousand miles.
Yeah.
And it's got an N14, which is a fantastic engine. So... And
it needs a transmission too. So.
Oh yeah, and a transmission. So here's another thing we're thinking, guys. And I know, you know, I should never say, you know, we're doing this and that's it. Because I know I said that we were going to put the 18 speed in it and we were going to single axle it, which clearly it's not a single axle. But since Smokey is going to be a Pimpin' Mac Daddy truck, I mean, let's face it, you know, K100, we were thinking about taking the 13 speed out of Smokey and putting it in Stubby, and then taking the 18 speed and putting it in Smokey, because I would, you know, I still have to do the engine in Smokey, and whether it's a 14 liter Detroit or I change it to a Cat, I think that one might be worth the 18 speed. Or at least that's what Dad suggested.
And this one's had a 13 speed in it originally.
And the engine doesn't have to come out.
No.
Whereas I don't...
We hope.
Well, and Smokey, you know, once I get the cab all buttoned up, I want to tear into the engine, but I don't know... I don't think I want to rebuild a Detroit because I don't have the tools. And work doesn't have the tools that I can borrow because they quit putting Detroits in Packard products in the late 90s?
I think so, yeah.
Mid 90s maybe. So at work we don't have any of the tooling. We got tooling for old Cummins, we got tooling for old Cats, but nothing for a Detroit. Which, I mean, I do know where there's a nice Detroit engine that's like, would be really good, a 14 liter, but it's not cheap.
Well, the only thing is if you buy that engine, it's already done. If you rebuild this one, you're going to end up with just about the same amount of money.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a trade-off.
Well, and the kicker is that other engine, it's in an old Peterbilt that was, like the engine's a 2022 Reman 14 liter Detroit, which is a...
If it's still there.
14 liter. Well, I drove by the other day and it was still there, but yeah, if it's still there, because he wanted 20... I think he wanted like 25,000 or 22,000 for the truck and engine, but basically just the engine when they found out how new it was. But I was thinking about offering 10 because I'm not made money, but I would pay 10 grand for it. Because like you say, if you spend $3,000
it's a trade-off whether you spend the money rebuilding it or whether you spend the money buying it. So
yeah, but I'm not going to worry about it because there's other 12 liter engines out there too. And Detroits are generally cheap to rebuild from what I'm told. It's just, I'm probably gonna need to seek help for putting liners in because I don't have the tools. But yeah, so anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this little segment. This is an update on Stubby. And I don't know, I don't know that we can call it Stubby anymore. I mean, we could. Maybe we should call it Chopper. Chopper. Well, maybe not, because we didn't actually really chop it, so we can't call it Chopper because it was kind of like adding. So call it Dad's truck because, you know, it's Dad's project. Or we just keep calling it Stubby and it's not Stubby. I don't know.
Well, it's still Stubby if you compare it to a 250-inch wheelbase.
Well, that's true.
It was Stubby to start with. I think you should still call it Stubby. It's just Stubby 2.0.
Yeah, Stubby 2.0. I know Kenny is the short one in the fleet. For now. I have plans for Kenny. Of course, you know, we've had plans for Kenny for 2 years, but, you know, then things pop up. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Except I wasn't going to do an outro like that.
Let's go get that 359.
Let's go get the 359. See you in the next one.